The first rule is to pay attention to ownership of business. Ownership really matters because locally owned businesses spend more of their money locally. And this is nicely demonstrated by this study that was done in 2013, comparing a dollar spent in British Columbia on independent restaurants and retailers versus a dollar spent on chain restaurants and retailers. And what it shows on the left is that a dollar spent on the independents leads to about 45 cents of that dollar being respent in the British Columbian economy, whereas with the chains, it's only about 18 cents on the dollar. So roughly speaking, every time a British Columbian resident mindfully spends a dollar in a locally owned restaurant or retailer, or in your case, a bar, the community enjoys 2.5 times the income, 2.5 times the wealth, 2.5 times the charitable contributions, 2.5 times all of the jobs and other impacts of the local economy. And there have been about 24 of these studies done in the last 15 years, and they all pretty much show that when you compare a similar business or a similar industry, one locally owned, one not, you get 2 to 4 times the jobs out of the locally owned business or industry. And there's not a single study that has shown otherwise. This study was published by the Harvard Business Review in the summer of 2010, and it's an analysis of communities across the United States, and what it shows is that in those communities with the highest density of locally owned business, there is the highest per capita job growth rate. But not just that, but this study from the Federal Reserve in Atlanta in 2013 shows that in those communities with the highest proportion of locally owned business, there's the highest per capita income growth rate. So in other words, if you care about social justice, increasing incomes, reducing poverty, local businesses turn out to be your best way of doing that.